We now move on to the controversy surrounding Nigeria's new tax law scheduled to take off in January, especially in the wake of weighty allegations from a member of the House of Representatives, Honorable Abdulsamad Dasuki, that the content of the gazetted tax laws did not reflect what lawmakers debated and approved on the floor of the House. Now, the federal government has now raised concern over an alleged plot to undermine the implementation of the newly signed tax reforms. Authorities say deliberate misinformation and coordinated false narratives are being pushed to weaken public trust and frustrate the policy before full rollout. The alarm was raised in Abuja during the inauguration of a joint committee involving the National Orientation Agency and the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms. The event focused on aligning public communication and safeguarding the reform agenda. Speaking at the inauguration, the special advisor to the President on Economic Affairs, Dr. Tope Fasua, accused unnamed individuals of actively working against the success of the tax laws even before it begins. Well, I'm glad to have Dr. Tope Fasua, Special Advisor to the President of Economic Affairs, joining me right here to shed more light on this. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and people will say, I mean, who are those people that will stand up against the almighty federal government to sabotage its plans? I mean, because the federal government has its ears, its eyes, its nose everywhere. Nigerians
are wonderful people, and even for politics, political reasons, people will do everything. I mean, if they will think, oh, maybe Tinubu will get it right with this new recalibration of our finances, including the budget, including the revenue profile and all of that. In case you get it right, some people are there who will ensure that it never works. I mean, and you see all sorts of wild allegations, including bringing France into it, this talk about MOU and all of that. Oh, it's going to sell everything to France. France will now be the one controlling our taxes. I mean, it's just wild, really. But I think the president is an experienced leader. And, we forge ahead, irrespective of whatever some people are saying. Because, again, you see a scenario where these people that I allege, they seem to be trying to rile up the underprivileged in Nigeria. Meanwhile, the tax reforms that we're talking about is clearly pro-poor. A clearly pro-poor, tax revenue system that will ensure that the people who have been paying taxes before, most of them will stop paying taxes of any type. That's the aim. It's going to be a process. I mean, before now, we used to have a scenario where some people will earn 30,000 naira in some states. 30,000 naira per month. And, they will take taxes from 30,000 naira. How much tax do you want to take from 30,000 naira that's not enough for people to survive with? I'm talking about taxing minimum wage. What this new system is trying to do is to ensure that people on minimum wage, 70,000 per month, which comes to about 840,000 in a year, and even making an additional provision of 200,000 for rent. To say if you're paying rent up to 200,000, you would also be able to go tax-free, make that as a deduction, which comes to 1 million naira.
Yeah.
And that SMEs that are turning over 50 million and below will not be taxed, not even VAT, should they pay? I mean, it's incredible. And of course, the bottom line now becomes that, look, I want to ask a question. Why do some people believe Nigeria is a place to dump, detritus? We talk about Nigeria, we talk about, Nigeria is not giving us this, Nigeria is not giving us that, but we want to keep milking the country. Milk the country, collect everything collectible. Right. The same people will go to UK, go to US, and the moment you get in there, you know that you cannot mess with their tax system. Go to anywhere, even in Ghana here. I told you, I mean, I went to Buka restaurant some years back. Up till now, it's still like that. Somebody went recently and came back. They take, apart from the 17.5% VAT, they take in Ghana, in Osu, in Accra, and they take 2.5% NHS, National Health Insurance. 2.5% education tax fund for eating in a restaurant, 1% tourism fee, 1% COVID fee. Up till now.
Even when
Nigeria
COVID is gone.
COVID fee. COVID fee.
All right.
They still take it. And they don't mess around with their taxes in Ghana. So when I go there, I say, well, this country looks like one that, they may be able to get a handle on their finances much quicker than we will, because we are just a lot of us are very arrogant people as Nigerians.
Well, a whole lot of people don't want to pay taxes.
We're the best people in the world. We're wiser than everybody. Our country. You know, because again, this doesn't match with the rhetoric and the narrative about how, you know, Nigeria is the poorest country in the world. No, Nigeria is just that country where a lot of people don't want to pay anything. A lot of people are actually enjoying. I mean, I just passed the Millennium Park now. You see loads of people on the road having a good time. Go to Lagos, there's a standstill.
A whole lot of things
and then we say that we're the worst country in the world. We are not the worst country in the world.
All right.
And what the president
Dr.
is trying
Fasua
to do is to recalibrate the finances of this country so that we can have a greater future.
Now, let's talk about the biggest elephant in the room. An honorable member raising a motion on the floor of the House saying that, look, his privileges have been breached because the tax laws that were passed are different from the ones that were gazetted by the federal government. And you are raising an alarm that there's a sabotage ahead of the implementation.
The two are not connected.
Where do you connect both?
No, the two issues are not connected. My concern about what people are trying to drive, some people, and very, very big people. I saw a man yesterday, you know, looking very robust. I think it's a Nigeria opposition movement or something like that, alleging all sorts of things. And I just like, look, these are the people that they need to pay. If the government says that, look, today now we need to, if you turn over transaction and you're running billions to your account, you don't want to pay 1 naira to this country. Is that how to run a country? This country is just 65 years old, thereabouts, all right? Maybe 66 next year. I was just watching a short video clip on WhatsApp just now, and countries that have been around, even countries like Algeria, Morocco, have been around for 2,400 years. Countries like Ethiopia, 3,000 years, Egypt, 4,000 years. In Africa here, let's talk of countries in Europe, 1,000 years, US, 250 years. This country is just 60-something years. It's people that will build the country.
Let's say 100 plus.
From the amalgamation. As an entity called Nigeria, as a country that leads itself. Because, look, you cannot judge us with Lord Lugard's rulership of Nigeria. You can't. But the moment he left, now you can start to count it that, okay, the man, they've left, you know, and then, so what have we done? In 5 years' time or 6 years' time, we tried to truncate the experiment. In 1966, twice. And by 1966, you are killing your leader. All right? By 1976, you are killing another leader. How much time has the country had to breathe and to cooperate? You know, so what I'm saying is this. Those two issues have no connection.
Yeah, but don't you have a problem with what
Samad Dasuki, my friend, as my former neighbor, has raised, you know, on the floor is well a germane issue. But of course, let us gradually, first of all, be able to confirm what has happened. I haven't seen the two documents he's talking about side by side to be able to say these and these are the issues. Of course, if there's any administrative lacuna or administrative, error or whatever has happened in this instance, it needs to be discussed. And of course, it is what the House and the Senate have reconciled that should be the law, clearly. You know, so I believe that will be handled at the highest level, you know, but it is what it is, you know, yes. So he has a point, but that issue needs to be reconciled at the topmost level, you know, at the executive level. I'm just a bloody advisor, you know, so well, I may not be able to comment too much on that.
Yeah, but now let's talk about the sabotage that you raised allegations against. What are those specific things that's making you to think that there could be a sabotage?
I mean,
is it the statements, you know, with this national opposition movement?
Those guys said, when a fat man, fatter than you, and a lot fatter than me, comes to tell you that the government, you know that, look, the guy is afraid that he's going to pay. He should pay. All of us should pay more if you are earning from what used to be. If
haven't Nigerians been paying more taxes enough? Not
Nigerians. Remember, again,
they are overtaxed.
I don't know how many times I will say this, right? But I need to say it again. That 70, maybe if you say that 70%, if you believe the numbers, and that Nigerians are you know, as poor as we say they are, that our people are, therefore 70% of the population, of the working population, are taking off that tax burden. Imagine, that's a big thing. For you to say that you're earning 1 million and below, forget it, please. These people need to be cared for, not taxed. I mean, I read something recently, just a couple of days, an influencer wrote about how he made an investment of 100 million. He made, within a short period, he made, in tax, maybe treasury bills, he made 104 million, and then government came and collected 10% or some amount of capital gains tax, and the money went to 103 point something million. And I'm looking at the guy, a young guy, maybe less than 40. maybe 30-something years old. He's doing investment of 100 million. That's not the only investment he's doing. He doesn't know how to understand that even he's a very privileged person. You're putting that on social media. Maybe a lot of people will go after him now this Christmas. This guy can do an investment of 100 million.
Yeah.
Go to UK. Capital gains tax in UK is 26% on everything. Especially on houses that you sell and you flip houses, they take 26% from your gains. It's from your gains. So anyhow, you know what? This country must progress in spite of us.
All right, so what people are saying is that the tax net needs to be widened, not increasing. But with this tax, the new tax laws coming up
that's exactly
from
what
next
you want
year,
to do, widen.
More people will be drained from paying taxes.
Not at all. Most people will be working scot-free. Most people. Look, let me tell you, we have a problem. Okay, let me tell you, one example I usually give is this, that Nigeria is, when we wanted to go to GSM in 2001, Vodafone, one of the companies in the UK, big companies in the UK, constituted one, or rather instructed one of the big four companies, big four consulting firms in the world to do a survey of Nigeria, whether the business was worth it. Those guys went back and told them that those people, 200 million, 100 and something million people, they are so poor, they can't even. It took MTN from South Africa and Econet from Zimbabwe to come to this country. Until today, from that 2001 till today, MTN makes most of its profit from this country, about 40%. And MTN is everywhere, all over Egypt, Uganda, Rwanda. So what that tells you is that these people who can find money to be talking on phone and, they're giving, we have one of the deepest tele-density in the world. Over 200 and something million phones are in Nigeria. Landlines, mobile lines are in Nigeria. People are calling. People are using data. And yet you tell me about how the country is the poorest in the world. That's why, the data does not triangulate. It doesn't jive. You can bring out those data, indict the country and say all sorts of things. But then you now go outside, you see people are spending money in nightclubs, people are enjoying themselves. You wonder where all the poverty is
from.
The money is coming from. Anyhow, so we are making, so what that tells you is that, it's not what it is. That is the scenario now. So what we want to do with this reform is to say, you know what? Okay, fine. Nobody is saying we are going to be probing people's accounts. But be sure that using technology, there'll be a way to follow the cash flow, follow the money.
You're taxing people, following their accounts, way into churches, mosques, and all of
nobody
that.
has said that.
This is what the opposition is saying, that what you want to do is not a tax reform.
So what we want
it is an assault on the livelihood of ordinary Nigerians. That's what they said.
Some of those people saying that they have criminal minds. That's the truth. You can't say
if they are Nigerians and they're entitled to their opinion.
Any Nigerian is not, Nigerians are not entitled to have criminal-minded approach to things.
This is free speech.
Nobody is talking about, even free speech has its own limits as well. Nobody is saying you want to go to church, you want to go to mosque to do what? But the point is this, I say, when this kind of policy is coming, just watch out for who is complaining the most. And they are trying to incense the people. Even if they could, I bet one guy saying as if they would go out, mobilize the people, let's go and riot. For crying out loud, that he's just using the people and pushing them forward. So we are of the opinion that we cannot allow the so-called opposition to seize the narrative on this initiative and this reform. They must not.
Dr. Fasua, you were once a presidential candidate. Do you think that this has left the realm of economics to the realm of politics now?
No. It's still in the realm of economics because it will be done by God's grace. January 1st.
Despite all these controversies,
nobody is saying
you don't think that with the alarm raised in the House of Rep that
let us start. Nobody is saying that. No. What the House of Rep is concerned with is clearly that, is it what we signed that is there? If it's what they signed and what they reconcile with the Senate that is there, I don't believe they have a problem. The people who have issues, they know themselves, who are trying to rile the people of this country. This one, Paris, they've signed this one. What is the Paris MOU with Do you know that FRS has signed so many MOUs in the past with HMRC, His Majesty Revenue and Custom? Just come and learn from them. What is an MOU? I went back
because of the relationship between President Tinubu and Paris. A whole lot of people are reading political meanings into it. That the French people maybe,
come on,
biting more than they can chew by wanting to help collect taxes from Nigeria.
There's absolutely nothing. An MOU. I went back to check what's the meaning. The meaning of MOU is just it's even when you say MOU, it's non-binding. MOU is just to say, I can sign an MOU with you right here. I say, oh, okay, me and you, I want to sign an MOU with you that you can always call me every Saturday at 5 p.m. and I will come to you or whatever. But it's non-binding. It's so long as it's an MOU, it's not an agreement, it's non-binding. And of course, there's no big deal about it. The transparency is also a very good thing, which I believe that the FRS will be able to do in good time. But, let's all cooperate as Nigerians. 65 years, 66 years, we still have a long way to go. All of these things we are doing today, we are writing history. At some point in time, we'll be able to look back and look at what we've done in the past.
All right, just before I let you go, Dr. Tope Fasua, what a whole lot of Nigerians are complaining about is lack of proper understanding of this. And we're saying that, the FIRS and then, of course, the presidential tax reforms, they've all tried quickly to educate people. But it looks like it's still not enough.
We have
what
to
more could be done? I mean, this alliance with the NOA, how much do you think can be done between now and January?
NOA, when I was growing up, when I went to do my service in 1991, 92, NOA was then known as MAMSA. And MAMSA, they were everywhere. It was a great place. They had all these young people. NOA still has those structures, according to what we've been told. And they can be able to deploy 774 local governments at the same time. In fact, every ward, 8,809 wards in this country, and take the message forward. Remember, in Nigeria, we tend to be absolutists, if you ask me. We are rolling out a new policy. It's going to be gradual, the acceptance. But you see, at the very grassroots, there's no problem. What we'll be telling them at those grassroots is better they come, more money to finance the budget, more money to do infrastructure for the people, more money to improve the standard of living of the people. Those guys who have to worry are those guys who have so much money hiding it around. Look, and it's a global issue. The way Nigerians used to open accounts abroad in different banks is not the way it's possible now. Nobody will open an account for you. There's, anti-money laundering, financing of terrorism is a big issue all over the world. So it's just Nigeria trying to do the right thing, and I commend the president for the initiative. All
right, we must thank you so much, Dr. Tope Fasua, the special advisor to the president on economic affairs. And of course, it looks like you have a whole lot of political battle ahead of you, because if the opposition can all come together and challenge these tax laws ahead of January, I don't envy you and the presidency and the APC.
They're afraid of the success for the country. That's the thing, and we're going to defeat them.
All right. Well, that's the much we can take on this edition of This Week. We must thank you so much, Dr. Tope Fasua. And from all of us here, our production team in Abuja, Lagos, and London, do join us same time next week for another exciting edition. I'm Somna Sambo.